Alright guys, welcome back to another G Auto Repair YouTube video, and today we have a blast from the past. This 1984 Cutlass Supreme. And I'm just stoked just looking at this because it takes me back to the good old days when cars were actually cars. Now they're all electric shavers. So I was just looking at this thing with Alex here and just kind of reminiscing on the good old days. I haven't sat in one of these things since I was a wee bit little turd. So it kind of gives me a little bit of happiness for a little while. The nostalgic of seeing these older vehicles when, like I said, when cars were actually cars. Yes, there were some that sucked. I'm not gonna lie. there was, yeah, there was some that just were useless. I wouldn't pee on it if it was on fire, you know. But it's a lot of these things were like pretty cool back when GM and Ford and stuff were doing good quality, built for the long haul, basically. So I was just talking to him about just the setup here, because this is something different that you don't see anymore. You know, obviously you got a carburetor here, and you got the old school filter, which was like a donut looking thing. It's inside of this. One of these bad boys, I haven't seen that in a while. And this is basically, it has a hole down here, and it has like a little flex pipe that's supposed to go to the exhaust manifold. So when the car is cold, it sucks up hot air immediately, or soon thereafter you start it, from the exhaust manifold to start warming things up faster. And as it warms up, it starts to close up, and then it just draws cool air from the outside.
That's pretty cool. It's like a circuit breaker, basically.
Yeah.
It's up, it closes. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Actually, I think this one is vacuum operated. I see a little broken piece of vacuum here, but some were actually thermal operated. When it got a certain temperature, it would close, and then it would just suck up cold air from here. So I haven't seen one of those in a while. Also, look at how many drive belts we got here. We got 3, and actually I think there's a spot for something else here, for a 4th belt. I see the spot here. So what I was explaining was, back then, if you had some kind of breakdown where maybe your AC belt broke, you were still good. You just didn't have an AC, because each accessory had its own individual belt. So if your alternator belt broke for some reason, and to break these things, man, you had to really be negligent, because these things lasted for a long time. Look how thick these things are. You know, these are the old V belt style. Now we use serpentine belts, and there's one belt for everything. So if that belt breaks, or the pulley goes out, or something happens, that's it. You're stranded. You're done. Call the tow truck, pull over, you're done. But versus this situation where, if your AC belt broke for whatever reason, you kept on trucking. If your alternator belt broke, well, you better get to where you're getting quick before you run out of juice. But at least your water pump is still going, because all these belts go through the water pump as well. So you could lose one, you could lose 2, and still be okay with the water pump. If your power steering pump gave out, or the belt broke for whatever reason, okay, you just didn't have power steering. You can still make it to where you're going. And I think, don't quote me on that, but back in those days, they were using smog pumps. Okay, maybe that's where this 4th thing goes here. I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure. But I know for a fact they had smog pumps, and they did away with that for a long time. Toyota kind of brought it back with their secondary air injection electric little motor pumps that they use now. And this is just for emission stuff. That's all it is. But back in those days, it had it looked almost like another AC compressor or a vacuum pump, and all it did was just pump air into the exhaust to kind of clean up stuff, and just mumbo jumbo emission stuff. Really, that's all that was. People converted it into other things. You can pump up your tires with it and stuff like that. They did all type of ingenious things with it.
School low rider or something like that.
The evaporator, look at where it's at. It's out here.
Oh snap! That's not. That's what that is.
Yeah, this is the
Great.
AC evaporator out here.
It means you don't gotta tear out the dash.
So it was a 2-3 hour job, and that's it. You were done. You had a new
New evaporator.
evaporator. Now
it's
you
like
gotta
a 5,
tear.
6 hour job.
Yeah, now it's a whole day event.
Yeah, you gotta tear out.
You gotta tear out the whole dash has to come out on these cars. Not back in the day. It was right here. The heater core, everything was right here. You know.
This is a center lock, isn't it?
Yeah, that's got this fancy
You need a
rims there.
You need like a mallet, a rubber mallet or something to take those off.
Yeah. So, you know, the same thing. You know, there's good things, there's bad things. You know, you got distributor systems; those gave issues. Wires. You know, there has been a lot of good, positive advancements in technology. Fuel injection, I think, is great. You know, coil on plugs, stuff like that. All that is great. You know.
Because you have a distributor cap there that goes to you.
Yeah, and then every time you had to do a tune-up and change. Back then, you had to change these bad boys at least 30,000 miles.
What, the distributor caps?
No, yeah, you probably did that too. But the spark plugs.
Really?
Yeah, because they didn't have all the fancy schmancy double platinum, iridium. And,
Well, I'm sure you could still
know.
stick the new ones in.
No, yeah, you could still do upgrades, but back in the day, that's what it was. You know,
$30,000,
30,000 miles. You threw a new set of copper tops, is what we used to call them.
Really?
And they were out relatively quick. So, you know, you got this big master cylinder here. Pretty good accessibility to do whatever you have to do. You know, fan clutch. He did an upgraded radiator.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
On there. And even back then, radiators were all metal. They weren't plastic like they are today. So those things lasted forever. As long as you didn't clog them up because you neglected it. You were good. Or a puncture, accident, stuff like that. Yeah, they did still kind of leak through not the welds. They were crimps. You know, you still had crimps. So sometimes it would still leak because there's a seal there. But if that was the case, they had these special repair shops.
Uncrimp it and...
Yeah, you take the radiator, unless you did it in-house, but you take it to a radiator repair shop.
That's a thing?
It used to be a thing. The last radiator repair shop that I went to was in Tifton, Georgia. And we used to use them for, I forgot what it was when I was working in Tifton over there for a little bit. That was the last one. Actually, I think they had one in Moultrie too, years ago. Now that I think about it, I think they did have one in Moultrie, Georgia too. But it's been more than a decade since I've been even stepped foot in one, and even then it was a dying art. So what they did was they just uncrimped it, removed the tanks. They would flush, clean out these things were way thicker, so you could stick little rods and stuff in there, clean them out.
Oh, really? That thick?
Yeah, they were pretty thick.
Look at that, because now they're like...
Yeah, they're like... Pinholes. Yeah. So they would do that, make sure everything is flowing, flush it out real good, clean it, and reseal the tanks, and you were good to go. Can't do that anymore, because it's all plastic. They break. Just throw a new radiator in there. The good old days. So let's sit in it. Let's go. Let's sit down and enjoy. Yeah, he's got a system in here, but so all of this is aftermarket stuff. But look at that. I don't know, man. There's just something about these older cars. The last time I sat in one of these, I can't tell you when it was. I was a kid, like I said. My aunt had one. I forget what model. I think it was an 88 or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. Let's fire it up. Oh, look at that. Fired right up. I don't know if the AC works. I think it does.
Yeah, works-ish.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Now, that was the thing. Back in the day, man, almost all ACs didn't work. at least in my experience as a kid. Our AC was always broken. And the old boy was an AC tech, which was crazy. But that's the old saying. Casa herrero, cuchillo palo.
Yeah, right. The shoemaker's daughter never had shoes.
Yeah. You had to slide this over. seems to be working.
Yeah, no, it seems like it's.
Yeah.
Or is it your side at least?
Yeah, it's not super cold, but it is doing something. It's in for an oil change, by the way. Old steering wheel, solid.
So tiny.
Yeah. The gauges, all analog. The seats. Oh man.
Could use a little extraction, but
The seats. They don't make it like this anymore.
it's like a couch.
You used to have, you know.
It's like you're sitting on a couch.
Exactly. I mean, if for as old as this car is, I find this seat comfortable.
It is.
For as old as it is.
It is. It is comfortable. And hell, I'm pretty sure you can extract all these seats and everything.
Yeah.
Brand new.
You had the options of getting the leather.
These have leather.
Let me
on
turn
the-
this off. We don't want to.
This has
warm
leather
up.
on the side here.
Oh yeah, this is something I haven't seen in a long time. The thing, every car had the ceiling would be sagging, so you would stick thumbtacks. Words are difficult at the moment. In this case, paper clips, not paper clips, but staples.
These look like the heavy duty staples too.
Oh boy, that's hilarious right there. Man, this takes me back.
It even smells different.
They even smell different. You're right. I mean, this is. I mean, lo nuevo es lo nuevo.
Yeah.
The new is new, but there's something about these older cars. Look at these big old lights that you knew something was wrong. You knew something was wrong.
Vintage.
Vintage. Oh boy. Look
He
at
made the center console too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is all custom made. This didn't come with the car. All right, how do I get out of here? There you go. So yeah, man, this is something about these older cars, you know. They take you back. I mean, no car does that like an older. And maybe it's just the nostalgic of it, but it brings back memories of childhoods and stuff.
That's a heavy door, man.
It's yeah, they were heavy doors. They would kind of, with the weight of them, and over time they would wear and they would sag. So you had to like slam them or lift them up and then close them because of the hinges. See the hinges? They actually used to sell repair kits for this stuff. See all those bushings and all that stuff in there?
Yeah.
They would wear out, so then the door would sag.
That's still a heavy door. It's a long door too.
Yeah. So yeah, I just decided to make a quick video on this. You know, tell us what you think. You got fond memories of an older car you used to have, or your childhood, a car your parents used to have and ride in. I think we all had the station wagon story back when seatbelt regulations weren't a thing. You would just have a pile of kids in the back of a station wagon.
Peanut allergy.
Yeah, peanut allergy. What is that? You would just you would just die or something, but nobody knew what that was. Yeah, thanks to that, now McDonald's doesn't sell peanuts on their Sundays. Yeah.
Are you serious? That's why they don't do
Yeah,
it anymore?
they quit doing it.
They quit doing it a few years ago because I remember you
Yeah.
can still get the little bag of peanuts.
No, I don't even think they sell it on the side anymore. I don't know.
They used to be on the side.
You used to ask for it in it. They used to scoop it up and just put it in there and you eat the peanuts and everything. But the peanut allergy is a thing now, so it's dangerous. So. But yeah, we all had that station wagon, pile of kids in the back of the station wagon having a good old time. Going to the movies or down the road or wherever. I know I've had my share. Eating Pizza Hut pizzas from the back of there. Oh man, good times, good times. So yeah, share your story. Let us know in the comments. See, you know, if you remember those fond memories or whatnot of these older cars, and make old cars great again. Let's make it a thing. All right, till next video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Ciao.